Why is it saying? Right, go live. It's saying on stream. Are we live?
Yeah.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Absolute Football Podcast, Absolutely Lower League, the show dedicated to everything from the EFL Championship, League One, League Two, and of course, the Vanarama National League, where a lot has happened. And I can talk about an end-of-season win for Rochdale, which I made up. But of course, I could not do it alone. And if I did do it alone, it would be rather boring, wouldn't it? So I have brought some pals with me. And what a squad we have tonight. Ben, how are you? Long time no see.
Yes,
Glad to have you back.
No, thank you for having me back. Yeah. No, it's been looking forward to this. I have to say, been a while. But yeah, nice. It's good to be with the dream team again.
Oh, I love that. We're really glad to have you on as well. We are really glad. Uncle Nick, how are you and how's your week been?
Week's been good. Talking about dream team, I just dream of a victory, but they're few and far between. So everything in life is good apart from football. But hey, nearly the end of the season, and we can't forget about it. We got the Euros to worry about.
Southgate ball.
Yeah,
that will be boring. That will be boring, but we won't talk about that. Not tonight, anyway.
Sorry.
Have another day.
Keiron, I mean, I am loving that outfit. Claire wasn't that impressed before when we were off air, but I'm loving it. How are you?
Well, based off the fact I've spent 25 quid on Amazon for a Mario costume, you can imagine my mental state is utterly deteriorated from having to watch football every week. I very much emphasise with Nick on the dream team thing, and I dream of a win. We're very close to breaking the record of our most consecutive defeats. So, yeah, life's good apart from the football, but at least I don't have the Euros to worry about, I guess.
That is a good point. And the birthday girl. So without further ado, before I say hello to you, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Claire. Happy birthday to you. Hip, hip. Hooray! I am so sorry as well if I have burst anybody's eardrums or if any of you did have AirPods or anything in and I've damaged your equipment. I apologise. I'm not buying you a new one. But Claire, happy birthday. How are you?
Thank you. I'm all right.
You're very welcome.
Even better now after that singing show. Thank you.
I really was practising.
We've had a nice day out. Quiet weekend, of course, as you know. But yeah, everything's very good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm really, really good, thank you. And of course, you've got a little friend there. Do you want to introduce her to everyone?
This is my little beautiful Daisy. You're gonna wave.
Hello. Oh, she's so cute.
Say, I'm Daisy. She loses her tongue.
Bless her.
She's still waving.
She's probably looking at us
not like her mother then.
Just give it time. She's only one. No, she had a sleep all the way home from the zoo. So yeah, bedtime was 6:45, and yeah, as you can tell, it went really well.
And of course, it is not just us. We have a lot of people in the chat. We've got Aled. Hello, Aled. We have got Chris as well. I'm trying to keep up. There's a lot of chat because we're a little bit late, so I do apologise, everyone. Mr. Luke, all right, everyone. Well, it's been quiet day at Gateshead for the past couple of days, hasn't it? You can talk about that as well after. We will be talking about Gateshead. It's not good, is it? It's really sad, but we will get onto that later. I'm trying to keep up with the chat. I'm having a mare already. Sean has put, it's Super Mario. We have got Super Mario with us tonight.
Yep, special guest. What can I say?
Chris has asked Claire, have you got a new host? I think that's Daisy.
I mean, she might make more sense than me.
I think all of us.
Look at her looking at. She's just looking at herself now.
Yeah.
I don't blame her. She's a cutie. She's a cutie.
You're cute.
We've got 5 as well saying, yes, Keiron, he's loving the outfit. Bit of bad news for everyone. Man City are winning.
I've spoken to my FPL. I haven't checked. Oh, no.
I mean, while we're on it, I know it's not a Premier League podcast, but who do we want to win? I'm all for Arsenal, to be honest. Yeah.
Arsenal.
Sorry, I can't. I have to go with Man City.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can't stand. I know too many Gooners, and I wouldn't hear the end of it if they did up winning the league. So I'm sorry.
Right, everyone in the chat, that's Ben's cameo for the night. He will be off now. Bye, Ben.
Yeah, no,
I'm only joking. Mr. Lucas, but has anybody seen Naughty Norman Price?
I don't know. I saw him a few minutes ago walking down the road. I'm sure he's gone.
5 put Sir Nicholas has his own FRI special coming out, hopefully tonight.
Ooh.
I'm intrigued about that. We've got a lot of birthday love as well for you, Claire.
Thank you, everyone.
A lot of birthday love. Oh, everyone loves Claire. Everyone loves Claire. Hello to everyone as well. I'm keeping up with the chat, hopefully. Up the Dale, that's one I will comment on.
No, we
go on, Michael.
Yeah, go on.
Go on, Michael. I managed to find that one. We've got Sam as well. He's put love to everyone.
Hi, Sam.
Mr. Lucas put, are you taking Claire's job as podcast host, Daisy?
I'll ask her. Are you taking over me on the podcast? Yeah?
Yeah.
Say yeah. You lost your tongue.
Bless her. We've got as well Jim McNulty's Barmy Army. Anyone but Liverpool, Pfeiffer says, well done, Everton. Yeah, massive well done to Everton.
Come on.
We have got as well Simon, I'm hoping for more sympathy from my favourite group of people than I got on Monday after we were robbed on Sunday. If you do want to talk about it at the end, Simon, you are more than welcome to. But because Monday's podcast did cover the FA Cup, we haven't got it on the agenda. But if you do want to talk about it, you are more than welcome.
It's not on the agenda and you're not getting any sympathy either.
Yeah, the guy should have cut his toenails the day before. It's his fault.
Go on then, show Bunny.
Ooh.
Oh, bless her. But of course, we do have Ben on, and we brought him on as well to try and convince Josh that we do want to cover National League North or South, even though Maidstone are doing very well at the minute. So we still want to cover them anyway. So we have brought Ben on. How are Maidstone doing? Last time we saw you, obviously, we went on that great cup run. But yeah, tell us about your season so far.
It's going really well. I mean, you know, the expectation was after we finished the cup run was to finish in the playoffs. And after the cup run, I think we only lost 2 of our last, I think it's 12, 13 games. So we went on a really good run we did afterwards. A lot of clean sheets, some good 1-0 victories. We had our first playoff game last night, the eliminator round against Aveley, who was probably the side I didn't want to face in the first round because they'd already done us twice this season. Danny Scopes, the manager, has done a phenomenal job there. They were, favoured to go down. They were, probably predicted to finish bottom of the league, and they've succeeded expectations. And they gave us a really tough game last night. They took the lead. It was a lovely cross to the back post. They headed it in, and you suddenly think it's going to be one of those nights because we had good chances. We did to kill the game off already, and then suddenly. You're going at halftime, you think our season might be coming to an end, really. So it was going to be a tough ask for them. But yeah, we got a goal. We made a couple of changes. Brought him on Michael Class, who we brought in from Worthing a couple of weeks ago, and Mohamedou Fowl as well. We've got on loan from Havant and Waterlooville. We call him the bagsman because of the amount of goals he scores in non-league. His level is ridiculous. Managed to get our equaliser through Matt Rush, who actually we got from Aveley earlier on in the season. So a bit of a salt in the wound there for Aveley. And then Sunday it sort of heated up. And to be fair, the atmosphere was absolutely incredible from both sets of supporters. They really made it a proper cup atmosphere. And then you see 7 added minutes go up and you think we're heading to extra time. We didn't really want that because I just can't stand the playoffs, let alone going to extra time in plus because I've seen it before and it just puts me on edge. And thankfully we broke away and Mohamed Fowl managed to squeeze one in the 92nd minute and our absolute limbs were crossing all around the ground. It was a fantastic moment and gives us a little bit of a motivation and also sort of breaks that cycle. Think, well, we can do these good sides. Don't really fancy our chances against Worthing, I have to say, because I think because of the amount of goals they've scored over 100 goals this year. They've got the league's top goal scorer in Ollie Pearce. They've done us 5-1 at their place earlier in the season, so it's going to be tough. But the fact that we're in the semi-final now, and if it does come to an end on Sunday, then I'm proud of the lads for what they've done this season because no one probably expected us to go on the run we have after the cup run finished. So they're absolutely delighted.
You never know.
Yeah, maybe the confidence from going on that cup run, and it wasn't just a cup run. Like it was an amazing cup run. Some of the teams that you played and beat, so that should give the lads confidence going into it. And as well as that, scrap what's happened in the league. I mean, I don't get on board with people saying the playoffs is a lottery, but you've got the talent and you've got the squad that are capable of being in that position. So you just have to hope things go your favour on the day.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. It's it is difficult to say who's going to win the playoffs now because they've got 4 good sides in there. Us, Chelmsford, Braintree, Worthing, all got their right to be up there. They've been absolutely brilliant. And I think Worthing were probably the side that didn't want to face in the semi-final. I thought that would be more the final. And that's the thing. Like we have got the talent in there. They've been absolutely fantastic. They've applicated themselves really well. And like you said, Claire, I think the form goes a winner, and I think because of that cup run, it's actually made the players a little bit more relaxed. Craig Fagan, our assistant manager, actually mentioned it in the press the other day, and saying that because we've already played, these big games, that should make it easier for the players because they've played in front of crowds of over 25,000. So playing in front of 3,000-4,000 in a game of this magnitude should be no problem for them, really. Even the ones that weren't involved in the cup run, they've still been there, they've still been a part of it. So, yeah, it's going to be difficult. I mean, look, we beat Worthing 4-0 at our place. They've done us 5-1 at their place, and I don't know how much you read into it, really, but I think it will certainly be more tense. I think the thing that gives me hope is Worthing concede a lot of goals, albeit they score a lot. I think they've conceded over 70-odd goals, and it's going to be a tough ask for us, but I think
that's a lot of goals to have conceded, isn't it?
Oh, they've been involved in some very high scoring games.
Mind you, I was just going to say from the sounds of it, you're saying you beat them 4-0, they beat you 5-1. Sounds like they either turn up front or defensively.
Well, that's the thing. I think to be fair, I think half our players were sort of in holiday mode because they were going on their Christmas do. They were after the game we lost 5-1 at their place. So that's the thing. That's why I don't know how much I read into that really. Probably was a mistake in hindsight, but then again, the players have got entitled to go for a little breakaway and all that sort of thing. But it did disappoint us in the day, the fact they didn't turn up. But they'll know they owe them one a little bit, and it'll be completely different. The lads were fully focused last night. They applicated themselves brilliantly. Even stuck to their guns at 1-0 down. It could have been easy to be so frustrated because the crowd were starting to get on top of them a little bit for being a bit negative, going backwards all the time. But as soon as we got the goal, gave everyone a massive lift. And then after that, we took it to them. And, I think had it gone to extra time, I don't know if I would have fancied our chances and even if it went to penalties, because their goalkeeper, Jonathan North, who's actually played his last game now, fantastic goalkeeper at National South level. We had a really good time with Wildston. Good time with Slough, and he kept him in the game last night. And I think had it gone to penalties, I wouldn't have fancied us. So I'm glad we got it done in the 90 minutes. So fingers crossed we can go and at least give Worthing a good account of ourselves and get us into that promotion final. And hopefully it'll be Braintree, because I'd like a home game, to be fair, rather than go to their place again, because you need a pair of binoculars to see the other side of the pitch there.
Oh, God, really? One of them.
Yeah, the old athletics track and that. So it'd be a bit like going to Gateshead, as Mr. Luke's probably going to slaughter me now for that in the comment section.
Oh, I really hope you do it. My fingers are crossed anyway.
Fingers crossed, yeah.
I do.
I know they're like our adopted team now, aren't they? Since you've started obviously coming on, Ben, and obviously with the cup run, we've kind of took them on as a podcast favourite.
Yeah.
Got to maybe try and get the gaff on here at some point, maybe to give it a little bit of time. And that.
Please do. That'd be quality.
Obviously, I do chat with him after the game all the time because obviously I do the post-match interviews with him, and I think he looked relieved last night. I think he came up to me before the game and Craig Fagan did. They're going, "You all right, Ben?" I'm going, like, no, to be fair, Gaffer, I'm absolutely cacking it because I hate the player. And he said, like, relax, like, saying that, like, you know, what will be, we'll give it our best shot. And after the game, they're going, well, what's all the worry about?
I love that.
If you end up doing this to me, saying another 2 more times, you might want to have 999 on standby because I don't think we're going to last. I hate the playoffs. I can't stand them. And that's exactly why I said I can't be.
Really?
I hate it. I hate it. I mean, because we've been involved in 2 playoff campaigns before. One we were expected to win, which we did win. Another one, we sort of went to as strong underdogs because Ipswich at the time was spending a lot more money than they were now, and we, surprisingly beat them in the promotion final on penalties. It was probably the most extraordinary game I've watched. We scored in the last minute of extra time, and then we nicked it on penalties, and that was just a big surprise to us. But this time, because we've been in the National League, it's almost like there's a bit added pressure on us because we've got that experience, and I think because of the season we've had, everyone sort of expects us to go up. But I think if we go out now, I don't think many people complain the fact that we've got to the playoffs of National South, 5th round of the FA Cup. We've won the Kent Senior Cup as well. So I think he had that offered that to me at the end of last year. We went to Chesterfield. I would have taken that with open arms. So yeah, I think George has done a fantastic job, and it's a work in progress. And I think it's something to build in for next year, whether we go up or not, really. Oh, shy gone, is she?
I think I'm having Wi-Fi trouble, so I am lagging a little bit. I do apologise. Am I working again now?
Yeah.
Am I working? Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank God for that.
Yeah,
I can see it in the corner. I've got a little icon, and it's lagging, so that's annoying. So I do apologise, anybody. But we are rooting for you 100%. 100%. Right, so I'm going to actually save the Rochdale talk till last. I will ask. Do you know what? I'll ask you first, Ben. Is there any standout results for you on here?
I mean, because obviously the magnitude of the result for them, I hate to say it, Ipswich's 0-0 draw at Boreham Wood has catched them up. I was sort of half watching the game before our game on Saturday, and they kept themselves in the game. I think they had Mark Cousins to thank really for some really important saves in the game, because I think that could have easily sent them down, but they stuck at it. And I think by the time you got to 60, 70 minutes, I think they sort of settled for a 0-0 draw, which was perfect for them, because obviously with Woking winning 3-0, I thought the 0-0 was perfect for them. So yeah, I won't say congratulations to them because I can't stand that club, but it's a brilliant result to stay in the league. So I guess that's the obvious one for me to pick out.
Yeah, definitely. And I just wanted to say as well on that, Boreham Wood's manager, and I don't know if any of you saw the video of him and the reception that I did got, because obviously we've parted ways now, haven't they? So that was really emotional. I was sat there watching it and I saw him upset, and I was like, I actually have a heart. I'm gonna cry here.
What an amazing job Luke Garrard has done for Boreham.
It's brilliant.
Like
100%.
The cup runs, the kind of, they were always nearly getting to the playoffs, and they kind of just always used to kind of tail away at the end. I think this is probably the worst season that they've had under him, and perhaps it does show that maybe he's taken the club as far as he can. Maybe I think that he deserves getting a crack in the Football League. I think he's an amazing manager. But he'd been there that long, you can kind of see why that would upset him to be leaving in that way. I'm glad that he got to leave in that way though, because he deserved that.
I think that, to be fair, I agree. It was the comment of my kids have only known me as the manager of Boreham Wood, which really obviously broke him down. And you know what? I've got a lot of time for Luke Garrard. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Boreham Wood as a club, to be honest, with the owner and everything, but to be fair, I've got so much time for Luke Garrard. You know, the job he's done there is absolutely phenomenal. You know, the squad he has, and I think maybe this year has shown that maybe he has taken it, like you say, Claire, as far as he can. And but then again, he won't be short of job offers now because, like I say, he may well get a crack in the Football League or get another chance, you know, at a big National League club. I think he deserves it. And I do wish him all the best for his next venture because he's a brilliant guy and fantastic manager.
Completely agree with all that. Do you reckon he'll take a bit of a break from football, or do you think he'll get a job quite easily? This is to any of yours now. Is there anyone really looking for managerial appointment at the minute? Because I know he's been linked with you, hasn't he, Uncle Nick? And he always gets linked with you.
He does, but we've got an interim manager, or coach, or whatever you want to call it nowadays. And the way he's talking, he says he's proved he's good enough for a permanent job. A lot of the fan base would disagree with that, with the record he's had, which hasn't been good at all. Performances haven't been good, and a lot of our fans would like Luke in as our manager. So, but it depends what the chairman decides with the current setup. So, I guess we'll find out in the next week or so.
Just on this as well, Uncle Nick, are you still keeping up to date with Oxford's results? I know 1-0 win for Altrincham against them, but a good team, to be fair, Altrincham. So it wasn't the worst scoreline, was it? Really?
No, just before I sort of go into the game itself, I'll just say that I've got the report from Altrincham. It said there were 3,000 fans at the stadium who observed a minute's silence for the Oxford City chairman, Brian Cox, who passed away. He'd been chairman since 2003. He had to retire as a player just aged 19, and he's been described as Mr. Oxford City. And was, obviously I never knew the guy, and I don't know that much of the history of Oxford because obviously I've just sort of started taking interest this season coming on the podcast. But he's, as they said, he was Mr. Oxford City. Much of his life was dedicated to the club, and he was sorely missed by everyone associated with Oxford. So, fair play to the fans at the game to observe a minute's silence for him. It's always a sign of respect when people do that, which is, what you would expect them to do. And so that wasn't probably a great thing in Oxford for Oxford City. The game itself probably summed up the season. They lost to a 42nd minute penalty. So lost 1-0 to a penalty. And that's probably, I guess they're now sort of glad the season's over. They can have a break through the summer. And I'm not sure what league they'll be in, whether they'll be in South or North. I think it becomes complicated from what I can gather, depending who gets promoted and who gets relegated to which leagues they get put in. Yeah. So I guess that'll all sort itself out over the next few weeks. And maybe it was just a season too early when they got the promotion, and being a part-time club, there are a lot of big teams, as we all know, in that National League. There are a lot of teams well capable of competing in League Two. So it was probably a step too far. But the experience is great. It will do good for the future. And hopefully they'll have a more successful season come whichever league they're in, North or South.
And will you be keeping up with the reports, Uncle Nick?
Yes, I will. Yeah.
Yes.
Just because they've been relegated, I'm not going to desert them. So we're going further down the leagues. I'm going to try and see if I can get a contact at Oxford City, excuse me, to see if we can get somebody to come on the podcast. Yes. My wife's best friend, her grandson is a youth team player at Oxford City. So I'll see if I can make contact with somebody there and just to get some more interest, some more publicity for them, get somebody to put sort of their side of where they are and what their ambitions are. So hopefully the plan is I'll try my best to get somebody to come on the podcast, and it spreads the word a bit. So hopefully that'll happen.
Definitely, I'm looking forward to that.
I could probably put you in touch with someone as well, Nick, because I actually know the media guy that works at Oxford City, because I met him back when we got promoted and that. So I think I've still got his Twitter and that, so I can send that across to you if you want me to.
Yeah, that's excellent. Thanks for that. Yeah, I'll do well.
No worries.
Go on, Ben.
Go on, Ben, lad.
Go on, Ben, with the connection.
We have got as well, Chris has put, Spennymoor will come to Oxford City. Will come to Oxford City season. Is it? We'll come to Oxford City, Uncle Nick, next season. Yeah, I'm confused. Can't see them in the south according to the projections from what I've seen. That confused me, that. Really confused me.
Well, yeah. So he's saying they're probably in the north. That's what it was.
Yeah.
We went to Oxford City away in the north. Like it is mental, but yeah, we did.
Yeah,
it's a weird way that they kind of divide it and stuff, and they with north and south, because it's such an uneven cut. But there we are.
It is.
They even put Bishop Stortford in that in the north, I think, this year, because they got promoted from the Eastman Premier, and I would have thought they would have gone into the south, and not any normal year they would have done. And I think that sort of was already the first nail in the coffin for them.
Yeah,
so that's probably why they went down this year.
Ridiculous. That
is ridiculous.
It's in Hertfordshire, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's around that area.
Yeah. Crazy.
I will just in the chat. We have got Mr. Luke's match analysis. The Gateshead game. So Gateshead 2, Bromley 1. He has put Bromley. I have to say, cannot remember much of the game that well, but it just wasn't a classic. It wasn't a classic game at all in the first half, and then in the second half, we managed to win it. While we're on this subject, should we talk about Gateshead? And Mr. Luke, please, you are more than welcome to have your say in the chat. But what are we all making about that with Gateshead? Because I feel so sad for them. And it's like Mr. Luke actually came into our Twitter space yesterday, didn't he? And for now, obviously, with all this going on, next season, if nothing changes, they're competing for absolutely nothing. And he said that's not going to attract players to the club, is it, as well? And it's just so sad to obviously hear. So what's all your opinions on this situation? I'll throw it out there to anyone. You can all of you say.
It's a bit ridiculous, isn't it? Let's be fair. That's the kind of easiest way to put it. If I'm not mistaken, it's because the council won't do something about their ground or other things. The fact that, when we talk football and the kind of the bad parts of it, most of the time it's the owners and stuff that have caused clubs to potentially go downhill and whatever. And it's weird reading that, their stadium is the reason that they're not allowed to compete and move up to the EFL. Like, for example, when Luton went up to the Premier League, they had to change their ground up a bit, didn't they, to fit it to Premier League standards. And I'd imagine that would have had to been the same thing for Gateshead. So the fact that they're not allowed into the EFL for something that is nothing of the players' fault, the fans' fault, nothing but the council's fault, it's horrible and it's really unfair.
The thing is that just doesn't really make it make sense. Like, you're talking here about a local community, and it's the club in the local community is so important. But as you progress up the leagues, you're going to get more people attending, more people are inclined to bring the friend, and more away fans as well. So that could boost like the local town, and more people there on a match day. I just don't understand how it makes sense. Like, basically, they're shitting on the people that are from Gateshead and support Gateshead, and they're stopping Gateshead from ever growing.
Yep.
Put that.
Sorry, Nick, you go. No, it's all right, Uncle Nick, you go.
Put that comment up. apparently, because I did read that apparently the council had agreed a 10-year lease, and that was the issue, that there was no 10-year lease, and it said that
They wouldn't put a
they
10-year
actually,
lease on that stadium.
yeah, but I also read it said that the council had agreed to it, and who is it? This Chris has put up that the council seemed to agree to 10-year lease to the stadium, but it seems they missed the EFL deadline. Which, if that's the case, that's just crazy. Just for
Well, Mr. Luke told us that they wouldn't agree it. So
yeah. That was the reports I saw as well. I mean, obviously, I don't know what the ins and outs and what the truth is. But it's every club in the league's got more than 10-year leases. Then I'm sure there must be teams that haven't.
I think it's a new policy that was brought in this season, if I'm not mistaken, that clubs in the EFL have to have a 10-year lease on their ground, or they get like booted out and stuff. So,
okay.
I will just read out all of Mr. Luke's comments as well. So it starts with, if I can get it up, because there's a lot of them. It's put, problem is, now, since we have a small budget and also small finances, we cannot afford a new ground. The most likely thing is to ground share to get us away from this mess. But will it happen? No. Then he has put, a statement came out and I was heartbroken to the core. It felt like the club went bust, which sounds extreme, but for us, it was due to the fact of what will it mean to the borough of Gateshead. As we're saying, it's just shocking. He's also always correct himself, bless him. And then he has put, I have no trust in Gateshead Council at all, I am afraid. They have just let us down big time here, and it's absolutely disgraceful of a situation. He has then put, our players have battled hard to get us to this stage of the season, and we've been denied a playoff place to try and get us to the promised land of the EFL. I honestly cannot believe this. I agree with that as well. They are by far one of the best teams I've seen this season in the National League. And you think of all them games they've played back to back recently as well. And what is that for now? It's shocking. Is also put, we are a fan-owned club punching above our weight with one of the smallest budgets in the league, been doing wonders by playing one of the most attractive brands of football. Yeah, I completely agree with all of that. As I said, they were by far one of the best teams I have seen in the National League this season.
You've said that consistently, to be fair.
I have. Even when, and I said it at the start when obviously when they had, it's Williamson, isn't it, who then left to go to MK Dons. They played attractive football under him, and then obviously they play attractive football now, and time again. And I even said it before this news came out, and I said, they were my favourites to win the playoffs, Gateshead. Obviously, this isn't me rubbing it in now, Mr. Luke, by any means, obviously. But I said, obviously, before the news broke, you were my favourites to go through. And just the style of football you play, the attractive style, some of the players you've got as well. You're honestly had such a good season. And it's so sad to see, because now you just think, what for? And it's so heartbreaking as a fan. As Mr. Luke says, it's like a feeling like what's going to happen. It's just uncertainty, isn't it?
100%. You think of all the fans that have travelled up and down the country, you know, like, because Gateshead is one of the furthest journeys away from most grounds, and you like you say, is apart from the FA Trophy, which I guess is a good consolation. I guess obviously it doesn't take any away of the pain, but you know, you do think to yourself, the players probably feel like they've wasted a year of their lives, you know, not being able to, winning all these games, but for no achievement. And I honestly think the fact is came, a couple of days after the season finishes, you just think, well, why was this not brought up earlier? Because surely this should have been in place before the season had even concluded, because Gateshead had been up there all season.
That's
so why is
true.
Why is it now that they've decided to make that decision? And to be fair, the league, I don't think have handled it very well as well. The fact that, they put Solihull, gave them the bye, and then within a couple of hours they put Altrincham through, which I think was absolutely madness. Because how do you think, if it was a Solihull fan, you think, well, hang on, you've been given that, right now to be in the next round. Their players are probably thinking, oh, good, we've got a week off now, and now they're suddenly having to prepare again for the biggest game of their season. I just think it's appalling handling by the National League.
It is madness. And do you know what? that's a really good point, and I was talking to Sam about that, my Sam, because when we were in the Conference North, Darlington were denied going into the playoffs because of the ground. So you'd think that they had a certain date that the ground had to be up to spec, or like that it had started, and that there was a guarantee of it going to be completed before the season starts. But you'd think that the league would have known that way before.
They did the same. Sorry, okay, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say to do like this to the fans at this point. You know, I can see why Mr. Luke is. I'm just going to call you Luke because you're not Mr. You're a bloody teenager. I suppose you are a Mr. But anyway, like just what I didn't mean that now? Like it's
now you've had a birthday, you're older. Is that what it is?
I'm sorry, Luke. I didn't mean it like that. I know we sat there laughing anyway. I feel like it is on the council, but it's on the league as well to leave it at that point. Like ridiculous. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I think the same thing happened to Concord Rangers as well a few years ago, because they've been up in the National South all season, and again a bit like Darlington, called out after the season and finished to say, well, you can't compete in the playoffs now. And you just think, surely they should have known this about a good least month beforehand. You know, I mean, I know they might have not had the money in that to extend the ground and that, but I always thought there was a lease in that sort of thing to get the ground up to standards for the next year, because when we got promoted the first time to the National League, we had to get our far ends, sorted out, which is now called the Jenko stand. And we were given until I think it was the 31st of March to get it sorted out. So, I mean, obviously a different circumstances for Gateshead, but obviously for Concord, I was like, oh, hang on, surely they get a year in that to get the ground up to National League standards. So I don't know if the rules have changed or not in the last sort of few years, but I just think it's absolutely madness. They go back on their own rules, I think, sometimes the league. So, it's just been appalling from them, really. And it just comes in the same week as well. Obviously, they talked about the old scrapping of the FA Cup replays as well, which I think was absolutely mad. It just shows where the league is at the moment. And, they're talking about they don't want an independent regulator. And
crazy.
This proves that they do need one, because they don't want to be called out for the baddest decisions that they've been making. And, this is another prime example of it.
Crazy.
I just don't know what to say on the situation. I think we've said it all, but I just feel so sorry for Mr. Luke. Like, Luke, sorry. I won't call you Mr. Luke, but it's difficult. I feel like I have to say Luke now, Claire. You put me under pressure. But yeah.
Don't win the FA Trophy final. That's all I say.
Yeah,
go and
do.
finish the season on the high.
It's put as well. Sorry, but if Gateshead Council are watching, we want answers for this and we need it now. Yeah, Gateshead Council, if you are watching, we're all after you. Yeah.
Yeah, Gateshead Council. We know you're watching this, and you do every week.
Yeah, Gateshead Council. And if you're not watching it, then
why not?
I'll come after you.
Yeah, we will come after you. It's not a threat, it's a promise.
We'll tickle you.
Yeah. Keiron, is there any standout results for you on here?
Halifax beating Eastleigh 3-0 away from home. If I'm not mistaken, that's the game that put them back into solidified them in the playoffs. And there was so much drama about, if Southend could have finished in playoffs given their 10-point deduction and everything else in between. But in that regard, it tended to be a very boring end to the season for the playoffs, because all Halifax needed to do was win, and they got a really convincing win against Eastleigh, who, like I mentioned, every single time we talk National League on here, I've always had a little bit of a keen interest in them since we played them in the FA Cup back in January or so. It's been interesting to watch how Eastleigh have really fallen flat ever since January, February time. They really hit a decline, given they were in the want to get playoffs and everything. And if I'm not mistaken, they've released their retained and release list, and a lot of them a lot of their key players have left, and you'd imagine that's because they didn't make playoffs. It'll be interesting to see how they develop going into next season. And yeah, I mean, Halifax, like I said, they did the job that they needed to get into playoffs. Yeah, fair play to them.
Claire, any for you?
So
Apart from the Rochdale one, of course.
I was going to say there's three, and one of them's yours, so we'll leave that one for you. But for me, the Dorking Hartlepool one,
yes.
Because like a 7-goal game isn't going to be a shit game, is it? And
we hope not.
yeah, with Hartlepool struggling like they have as well to get a little bit of consistency going for a prolonged period of time, like it's probably nice for their fans to finish on a high kind of thing. And then the second one that I wanted to call out is oh no, I've seen three now. Is Wealdstone. That's a great result away for him.
Yeah.
I know like Oldham season's petering out a bit anyway, but Woking beating those seaside bastards.
Stop.
It's only because I don't like them.
Same.
Yeah, that's the only reason I called them that.
Same.
Yeah. Choo-choo, motherfuckers.
But yeah, just on Oldham, I've seen a lot of stuff on social media from Oldham fans, and there's a lot of stuff going on at the minute, and I don't know how much of it's true. Apparently, after the game, I saw Oldham fans comment that a lot of Oldham players were swearing at fans. Fans were swearing at players, which is like, wow.
Yeah.
I've heard as well, I don't know how true it is on Twitter, so it might not be. So please don't take any of it seriously. It's just what I've read. There's some people coming out saying apparently Mickey Mellon did an interview and has said that the budget for next season isn't that high because they've spent quite a lot of money this season on these players. A lot of key players, I think, don't want to stay at Oldham, which, as I've said as well, I don't know if it's true. But I just feel like at the minute with Oldham, there is a lot of uncertainty going on, and they really did splash the cash, didn't they, in the summer?
Yeah, they did. And when I was talking to Sam about it, he said it wouldn't surprise him because, in a way, it kind of seemed to him like shit or bust kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that they were really putting money in to kind of go straight back up again this season, but obviously it's not worked. But yeah, I've seen stuff on social media as well. But I also saw the statement they put out about the players out of contract, and it literally was like the least informative thing. It was basically saying, this is who's in contract. This is who's out of contract. This is who's returning to the parent club. Now, to me, reading between the lines of that, like it didn't sound like it wasn't like these people are in contract and we look forward to having them and they're a part of the club. It kind of just was like, these are in contract. And, with the weird situation with Alex Reid, for example, over Christmas and then him getting suspended. Like, he's not played and he's been put in because he used to play for us. People put the videos in our social, in our WhatsApp groups and stuff. There's been like videos of him like sharing what's happened and then saying like that was a low point for him, and he's like the next chapter. So to me, like, does that mean that even though he's in contract that they want him out? I feel like there's going to be a lot of movement there in the summer.
Yeah, the thing with us is obviously the rivalry between Oldham and Rochdale. I feel like at Oldham, they've spent the money, but they've spent the money on all these individuals what are more so out for themselves rather as a team. They're more individuals. And then you've got us on the other hand, at the other side of the spectrum. I know there's obviously a deal going through, potentially, hopefully. It looks promising. But we've not really had the money. We've not had the funds. But with us, it's like a group of players who are a team. And with Oldham, I just feel like you said, Claire, I really don't. I don't think even next season, the way it's going, I think Mickey Mellon really does have a really big job on his hands of either getting his own team in, because obviously a lot of these players were signed in the summer, and I think it was Unsworth who signed a lot of them. So getting his own players in, but the fans aren't happy with Mickey Mellon's style of football. And Mickey Mellon has got his own kind of style of football where it's not attractive in any way, shape or form. It's quite like defensive, but it does work in one aspect because we've seen him obviously get promoted with Tranmere. We've seen him also at Tranmere do a job, haven't we, for several seasons. Before obviously then he got the sack, I think he did. But I just feel like with Oldham at the minute and their fans, and because they have spent the money, they feel like they are very entitled and they do want to get up to the Football League. And I think Mickey Mellon really does have a rebuild on his hands, especially if they have spent all that money.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to expect with them next season. But I know the fans aren't happy at all. We have got in the comments as well, Chris, a Rochdale fan, so obviously he's going to hate Oldham. He has put, I hate Oldham and the majority of the Biffo fans as they think they should be walking the National League. Yeah, I think, to be fair as well, a lot of people did have them up there this season, especially with the players that they did sign, because they have got a lot of good players. But as I've mentioned, it does seem like they are very individuals rather than together, which obviously you can't have, can you? Especially if there is so many of them. But yeah, we will get on to the Rochdale game, and we do have a lot of comments. So we have Michael. He has put, Rochdale, what a game. Really good game from the lads. Thought Edwards played very well considering he's 16 and considering it was a 5 a.m. start. Good goal. Rodney scores again. Ole, ole. So Harvey Gilmore, unfortunately, went off in the first half through injury. Not good to see, but last game of season, so hopefully he'll recover for the beginning of the season. But we had a young academy player on the bench called Corey Edwards, and obviously Harvey Gilmore went off quite early. He came on, and what a job he did with Ryan East in midfield. I mean, a really solid job against a really good Southend side. We played very well, though. I didn't know what to really expect from this game. And Southend, when they scored very early, I think it was the 8th or 9th minute, I thought, here we go. It's going to happen. We didn't really have much to play for because we couldn't get relegated. We couldn't get playoffs. But Southend, if results did go their way, could have got a playoff spot. But I think Halifax had to lose. And was it Aldershot as well? I think it was a couple of teams had to lose. So when we went 1-0 down, I thought, oh, here we go. And then who goes and equalises just before half-time? Keiron Hayes. Keiron Hayes, that little pocket rocket I have been talking about all season, did the job. And honestly, what a player. I say it every single week coming on this podcast. If we could sign that guy, I would have him in an absolute heartbeat. What a player he is. But yeah, obviously equalised, and then we played really well. We had a few chances. We got into the game. Damani Mella then came on, created quite a bit, did a job. We looked really good. We just couldn't score. Then Southend, obviously, at the other end, had their chances. And Devante Rodney, I've mentioned several times also on this podcast, he has had a very up and down season, bless him, through illness and through injury. And then in the games that he has played at the end of the season, he scored, and 90+1, he managed to get the winner, which it's always good to win the last game of the season, especially away from home. But I do want to mention Southend as well, because what a job they have done. I've said it time and time again. What they have been through this season, having one, two maximum players on the bench throughout the season as well, under embargo. Obviously, there's a potential takeover hopefully going through, which I hope does go through for them. But Kevin Mayer and all them players there, hats off to them, because they have done absolutely phenomenal. And if they can keep, obviously, some of the players that they have got now, and if this does go through, this takeover, I really do think they could be a shout next season to be up there. I'm not going to say win it. I don't know if they will win it, because obviously it's one of them leagues. You can't make it out until obviously they've made signings and stuff. But I honestly do think Southend will be, if they carry on this, and obviously they do get the good news that they are all obviously waiting for with this takeover. I think they will be a massive, massive shout next season, because what a job they've done. It's fantastic, isn't it? Fantastic.
Kevin Mayer should be given the freedom of Southend, to be honest, for what he's done there the last couple of years. Because like no one expected them to be anywhere near the place, and it's a shame, because that 10 points they would have become to be been in the playoffs. Yeah. And like you say, with all the transfer embargo, the lack of substitutes they have, they're still pulling results out of the bag. And if I were a Southend supporter, I would have felt really proud this season. Like you say, I think they probably got a shout of playoffs next year. And to be fair, it's going to be such an open league next year, regardless of who goes up, because of there's not really, when you look at it, any real big boys in there, if you like, because you've lost your Wrexhams, your Notts Counties, your Stockports, or Chesterfields. Like, there's so many big clubs you've lost now, and there really is. I think I do feel like everyone's going to go for it now next year. And as I was thinking, if Southend can get their recruitment right, and like you said, keep the core of that squad, there's no reason why they can't be up there, challenging for playoff places, or if not, maybe even towards the title. Who knows?
Completely agree with that. And honestly, I think it'll obviously go to, I don't know if have they done the award yet for Manager of the Year in the National League. I don't think they have yet, have they?
Yeah,
I think probably Paul Cook will probably get it for what he's done at Chesterfield. But I honestly think Kevin Mayer should get that, because of the job he has done. And I know obviously it probably will get overlooked because of how well Chesterfield have done in this league. But I just think, honestly, like, if we did an awards now, he would 100% probably be all of ours, wouldn't he? A lot, if not all of ours, like, if we had to vote on that. So what a job. I have been asked questions as well. We have released our retain and release list today, and the big news is we have released Tyree Sinclair. A bit of a shock to a lot of people, but I'm not shocked, to be honest. My thoughts on Sinclair is, I think he's scored he's scored goals this season. A lot of them are penalties, but then at the end of the day, you have got to, when you do get the penalty, you have got to score it, haven't you? So you can't really take that away from him. It got an injury and is not really been able to get in the squad since then. I think the thing with Tyree Sinclair is, I think he's a very, very good squad player to have. He has got the talent, but then sometimes he'll have games where it doesn't really show them. He is quite inconsistent in that aspect. So I can kind of see where Jim McNulty is coming from. I don't know if it all is Jim McNulty as well, whether obviously he's wanted to go and we've released him because of that as well. I do not know. I am gutted in one respect because, as I mentioned, I think he's a very good squad player. He does score goals. He does create chances. But like I said, he is quite inconsistent. And I would rather him, if he's not in Jim McNulty's plans, I would rather, obviously, we spend money on someone Jim McNulty wants. So I don't know if it's come from just Jim McNulty not wanting him in his plans, or whether Tyree Sinclair had something to do with it. And I've got a massive feeling he could end up at Altrincham, because he had a loan spell there previously with Altrincham, and I think he's the type of player that does fit that role. So it wouldn't surprise me if he went there. But I am quite gutted, to be fair. Good player, but it sounds awful. I'd rather get Keiron Hayes. So I'm sorry.
No, really?
I'm sorry. Yes, really.
Whoever thought that one was coming?
I know. I would rather.
What? You sure?
I would rather do that because I feel like we have offered Devante Rodney, obviously, a new contract. So the players that we've released is obviously Adam Clayton. I can understand the start of the season. Him, Ryan East, and Harvey Gilmore were absolutely rock solid. But he's obviously very injury prone. He's getting older now, and he's probably on one of the top wages out of them all. So I can see why we have released him, even though he's good to have at that level and he's experienced. It's just a high wage that we can release and obviously get someone in. Max Taylor, I just don't think he's good enough, unfortunately, Max Taylor. And he's been on loan at Solihull Moors. So I'm wondering whether he will get a chance there, whether they'll buy him. Well, not buy him, because obviously it's on a free, but whether he'll sign for them. Mikey Ofoye, who we did sign from, I think it was either Avenue or Avro last season. I cannot remember which one. I just don't think he was good enough to play at this level, unfortunately. He's been on loan a lot of the season. I don't think we wanted to take that chance on him. So obviously he's been released. The other players we've offered contracts to, so that's Ethan Ebanks-Landell, Cameron John, Ian Henderson, Devante Rodney, as I've mentioned, Jimmy Keohan, Keiron Gordon, because he played so many games for us, it triggered a 1-year extension, which he had signed. I'm very impressed with that signing because I feel like when he has played for us, he's been quite solid. He's done a job. He's been one of the unsung heroes of the team this last few months of the season. But I feel like with Tyree Sinclair, if we get rid of him and free up a space, we can also offer Devante Rodney a little bit more money for him to sign. Because I feel like if we build a team around him and then hopefully get Keiron Hayes, and Keiron Mitchell's obviously still in contract. We've got Ian Henderson. If we can build a squad around Devante Rodney and Keiron Hayes and Keiron Mitchell, I think we'll have a shot next season. I really do, of trying to get playoffs. We've obviously got this takeover money involved. So I think I'm happy with that. As long as we can secure Devante Rodney and get Keiron Hayes, I'm happy with Sinclair going. No offence, Tyrese. I did like you. I hope, obviously, good luck to the future, but I really do think we need to secure Devante Rodney. That's the main one for me. So I hope that answers your question, Michael. And this, can we start? Yeah, the GoFundMe. We will.
You don't need a GoFundMe. You've got a rich owner coming in.
Hopefully.
Well, we don't want to talk about the other strategy to bring him back, right? That'll be ignored.
No, I was thinking, instead of getting the toes out, which I'm not going to do, I was thinking, because I'm so good at singing happy birthday songs, I could charge people to sing happy birthday songs and it all goes in
make her,
GoFundMe.
what's it called? A cameo, you know? Video messages and all that. There we go.
Exactly. Thinking a bit more logical today, I am here. I'm not just rushing into it. Honestly, I've considered every aspect to sign Keiron Hayes.
It's planned desperation. What can we say?
We won't obviously spend too long on this because we've spent a long time on National League so far. But Solihull Moors 4, FC Halifax 2 in the playoffs. Were we expecting Solihull Moors to win?
Yeah, 100%. But Sam said to me on the way home today, he said, I don't want to sound like I'm an attendance wanker, but imagine them going up. They had 1,900 people there for a playoff game. That's a massive game. Like, I mean, not that attendances don't matter anyway, but like, I just hope they get dicked in the next round. You know my thoughts on Solihull.
Oh, I love it. Do you know what? We'll leave that at that. Clare has just completely shut that down.
There we go.
Sorry.
So we will. No, I love it. I love it. I am so sorry we have to share this, Mr. Luke, but obviously I will just go through it really quickly. So we have Chesterfield obviously won the league. No change there. And then I'll just go through relegation as well. So the relegated teams were Boreham Wood, unfortunately, Kidderminster, Dorking, and Oxford City. Bless them. So now, League Two. Who wants to talk about their teams first?
Do I have to?
Do you want to get it out of the way?
Yeah, sure, whatever.
I will give you the big screen as well.
Have you ever seen a more depressed Mario?
Usually, actually, when I play like Mario, because I'm so bad at it, mine always looks
To
depressed.
be fair, mine's always jumping, like missing gaps and just fall into his death.
Same.
Yeah. For someone who bought a Mario outfit, I'm not very good at Mario, but within the most brutal honesty, I expected us to lose. I think there was a Salford fan that either came in here like last week or so, or there was a few Salford fans who were talking to me, and they were like, "Oh, we'll be the ones to break your streak of losses because we give all the teams that are in bad form the positive results." And I said to them, "No, that's not going to happen. We're absolutely clueless and woeful." So within brutal honesty, and I hate being negative about my team because what we've done this season is far overachieved expectations, and we've had glimpses of being a really good team, but unfortunately the season's ended on a very depressing note. As I said in the intro, we're one game off of tying with probably our worst ever run, which is 8 losses in a row. So the fact we're in that we're within that want of not wanting to break that record, because it's not one you want to have. It's difficult to watch within brutal honesty. I don't even remember watching the game, to be honest with you. I ended up reading a bloody ebook. I got that bored. Nothing happened. Salford were equally as bad. They just scored. Like, that is that's the easiest way I can put it. It was, from what I remember, the goal was that stereotypical League Two. Saying that, I remember the exact goal because I've talked about it before. 92nd, 93rd minute. Ball's being crossed in. Somebody's hit it. It's hit the post. Somebody's hit the ball. It's hit the post. It's rebounded to what's Salford's top scorer? Is it Matt Smith?
Matt Smith.
That's the one.
That game was decided by a goal.
The game was decided by a goal, man. No, he's just toe poked it in from about 3 yards out, and he came on in the 88th minute and did more things offensively than we did in 96. So,
do you know what? I was sitting next to Hannah because we had a corporate day, and she was filling me in on the scores, and I literally was like, "Oh, Keiron might get his 0-0 draw. He'll be buzzing."
Like I said to you last week, I was selfishly hoping, because I was watching it on my birthday, I was selfishly hoping we'd break this curse of losses. But I said at the 45 minutes at half time, I was talking to this guy next to me, and I went, "Do you remember that Stockport game where we conceded in the final seconds of the game? That's going to happen again." And it happened again. So we're quite a predictable team in that you can predict we'll lose every single game, and more often than not it'll happen. But the thing that probably upset me more than any of it was, obviously it was our final game at home for the season, full time, albeit the ground is about half empty. But obviously the players walk around the ground and they clap all the fans and whatever. And Paul Graham Coughlin, I mean, he's got to a point where he is. I have never seen a more deflated manager in my life. He's clapping the fans or whatever. He's just looking at the floor. So it was really really upsetting, because he's faced a lot of, I suppose, when you look at it, 7 losses in a row, it's potential credible criticism, but the way it's being portrayed is very negative, and it's not constructive, and it's just horrible. So the way he's had that portrayed to him isn't very nice. But I suppose you can question 7 losses or whatever. I still think he's the right manager for the job. We've got, of course, this new ownership coming in, and apparently we're in talks with contracts of a few, and there's also talks that quite a few players played their last game, and he was talking in Graham Cotton, that is, in his post-match press conference, albeit it was about 3 minutes long. He was saying there's a good few players that he feels can't do any better than where they are. They've kind of hit the maximum they're able to play, which is, albeit mid-table League Two. So, the post-match was about as upsetting as the actual match. I saw a few seagulls, if that increases your match analysis. But yeah, I've been saying it since we lost to Barrow. I am fed up of football. I'm actually very glad now in hindsight that Wales haven't qualified for the Euros, because by God, the group we would have been in, we would have got absolutely demolished. So the fact we're not in the Euros, you lot can have your fun with your Southgate ball. I can just enjoy my summer and not have to worry about any of that crap. So manager looks incredibly upset. I'm worried that I don't think he'll be sacked, saying that he's been backed by Hugh Jenkins, and he's mentioned that he's very confident in what Graham can do with an actual competitive budget. He won't get sacked. I'm partly worried that he'll walk, because it's been a very difficult job in the past 18 months or whatever it's been since he's joined. And I don't really know what other manager takes us forward. But the game's gone when seagulls are the highlight. Yeah, that's about it. This is where I really should have left my really fun football analogy of the game as decided by a goal, because that is what this game was. So we've got Bradford now Saturday, which, within my own stupidity, and I talk all negatively, and I'm really upset about how my team's performing, I've still paid to go there. I've still got a ticket. I've still got all this other stuff. So I partly hate how much I love this club, because we'll be in a reality where we could be going into next season and the opening game of the season where we'll go on our most awful run of the entire club's history. So it was that positive enough. 5-0 Bradford, come on, let's kill that playoff shit. That's another thing. I mean, you can talk about it in a bit, but Bradford, despite all the worries and all the poor form they've had this season, they can get playoffs if they win on Saturday and if results go their way. So it would be typical Newport to get a result when it actually matters to the other team. But there's my lovely match analysis of a 7th loss in a row.
How many goals have you scored in the last 7 games?
Oh, Christ alive, 3, I think. We scored against Tranmere, and I still said we'd lose, even though we scored first. We scored against Colchester, and I don't think we're saying that. It might be 2. I don't know how many goals we've scored. It's that.
Basically, your players are just all, they've just all hung the boots up for summer, and they're just.
I think that, within brutal honesty, I know that they're at a level where, and it's been evident for weeks, that they've checked out of the season. We've overachieved and we've done exactly what we need to do, which at the end of the day, as much as we were praying it would have been playoffs, because we had a slim chance back in February, I think all deep down we knew that we weren't gonna be able to do it. We were going to get caught out. And Graham Coughlin said that's why he didn't. That's why he never talked about playoffs. Like, the people who were interviewing him tried to mention playoffs to him, and he'd always dodge the question. And we all thought it was, he's ignoring it so the pressure doesn't get to the players, which was partly right. But he's now admitted that part of the other reason is that. He never expected us to. He knew injuries would catch up to us. He knew that we didn't have quality in certain areas, and he was talking about how he doesn't think some of the players apparently aren't very keen or aren't very accepting of criticism. So it'll be a very interesting summer. I don't know what players he's referring to. We've not got many players for him to bloody refer to, given the fact that 90% of them are out on the bloody injury table. But yeah, it'll be an interesting summer. I really hope, Graham Cochran stays. I think he's built some form of foundation that we can further develop on. But like I said, I'm rather fearful that he walks, and in hindsight, it could be a positive thing, because I know a lot of fans of teams that be managed by Graham Cochran don't like the style of football he's playing and everything, but I think it works perfectly. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. We overachieve. I disagree with the first line of that comment that we haven't overachieved. If you would have asked any Newport fan at the start of the season, me included, I was scared of a relegation battle. You look at the players we lost and the players we brought in, every single one of them, the permanents anyway, were players that were released from, other League Two clubs and everything.
Having said that, though, Keiron, and, I'm just putting devil's advocate hat on it. Obviously, you're the fan. Okay, so you have overachieved. Like, that doesn't mean that he shouldn't be getting some criticism now when he's lost 7 in a row. I'm not saying I'm not saying that it should get to a point where people are calling for him to go, but you do have to be questioned if you lose 7 games in a row. Like, whoever you are.
He's criticised himself, and he's openly said that he needs to look at kind of what he's doing and the fact that he's not found a way to adapt the team, and he's a manager that does have self-accountability. He'll blame himself before he blames any player, which is a reason I'm really thankful for having him as our manager. But at the same time, 7 games, that's a bit extreme, especially given 4 of those games were against teams that also had nothing to play for. So 7 losses, I don't question him in terms of I question his position. I think he'll stay. I haven't changed my opinion on him at all. I'd want him to stay as manager for a good while longer, at least next season, to see what he does with an actual. I wouldn't say a massive budget, because it won't be, but it will definitely be a more competitive one than we've had during the summer. But I think we're a different club than most in terms of the circumstances we've had this season. Like, I'd imagine we would probably have been one of the worst, if not the worst, club in terms of injuries at certain points, especially with the individual qualities they had. And that's kind of carried on. And I suppose he can, control players and make them come off the beach, so to speak, when they all ended up doing it. He's definitely open to criticism, and I understand the people that are questioning his football and the fact he's not adapting, or at least, experimenting with players to see which ones stay and which ones go, despite the fact you'd imagine he has a pretty good idea. But at the same time, some of the criticism he has been getting, I think, has been really harsh. Like, there was an open letter to the Argus from someone, like, calling for his head, like saying he needs to go. So, to me,
I suppose people are allowed to have that opinion.
Yeah.
I guess probably a lot of it is being in that position that you were in. But it's interesting because obviously football fans, as we discussed, all of us included, are fickle as fuck. So there's no football fan out there who isn't, like, if we're being honest. But it makes sense. What about your match, Uncle Nick?
Had a nice journey up to Grimsby. That was good.
Said no one ever.
No, that was fine, considering that the motorways usually play up. I like Grimsby as a club in the ground. It's a proper football ground. There was a good atmosphere. I think they had over 6,000 there, which I don't know what their gates were, but the stadium looked pretty full from where we were in the away end. They got a good little bar there for the away fans. That's really good. Stewards are good, so all that was okay. I don't want to depress Keiron anymore, but just to say, even if we win Saturday, this will be our worst season ever. And we could actually finish
above us, wouldn't you?
and we could finish above you. so that puts you into context. Sorry, mate.
No, yeah, it puts it in context, doesn't it?
But for us, it was 0-0 at half time. 2 poor teams. We had nothing to play for. They needed a point to ensure they were still in League Two. They were very nervous, which you would expect. Second half, we just as well not put any. Well, only 2 players come out of that game with any credit. One was a 16-year-old centre half making his full debut.
Wow.
The other one was a 17-year-old playing his second game, is the right wing back. And they were the only 2 players that looked as though they were up for the game. And the rest
Sounds
of them,
exactly the same.
certainly that second half, we were just terrible. Their first goal, it's a long cross from the left-hand side. And if you see the picture of it, the kid who scored on the quarter of the pitch, he's the only player you can see. It was that bad. It was our players were dragged across like you expect 7-year-olds.
Oh shit.
He went through. He took this goal well. Fair play to him. And then they got a second one. We lost the ball middle of the park. And the guy strode forward and thought, "Oh, maybe I'll have a shot," and hit it in off the post. 2-0. We were so poor. It was. I think it summed up our season, to be honest. I say we've got a interim coach that thinks he should get the job, thinks he's done enough, and his record since he's been appointed is, I think, I can't remember what the win percentage is, but it's about, I think, one of the bottom 4 of managers with win percentages. It's really, really poor. So, yeah, it was... the game itself was terrible. So after the game, I went up there with my son. So that's always a good day. We spent the day with Dan. So that's the only reason we went, because he hasn't been able to get to football much because of work. We ordered a taxi to get back to the hotel. Waited. Phoned them back. Where's the taxi? Come on, it's bloody cold by then. Then she says, "Oh, the trip's signed off. It's completed." So some sod pinched their taxi. Great, thanks very much. So, and again, eventually we got another one. Got back to the hotel, watched the Chelsea game, and I think they were. I mean, they should have won it, but they were as good as we were for finishing. Oh, we had 6 shots, 0 on target. So that sums up where we were. So yeah, we the real most disappointing thing actually was we went out to get some grub. I thought, oh, where are we? Grimsby. Oh, we'll have fish and chips. And that wasn't brilliant. I've had better fish and chips down there, bloody takeaway van. So I thought, oh, that about finished the day off. And it
Sounds
was,
like it did.
and it was when we walked, say, to the chippy, it was bloody freezing. And Dan, he works outside. He's a farm worker, so he's used to working outside in the cold, the wet, the wind, the rain. And he's saying, "Oh Christ, this is bloody freezing." And I don't know what it is with northern girls, but there were 4 girls walking along past us with skimpy skirts, skimpy tops on, no coat, and there's me and Dan bloody freezing, and they're strolling there. They must have had some bloody good alcohol inside them. That's all I can say. So
Southern soft, isn't it?
Yeah,
Southern
soft
yeah.
is. You're right, it is. So yeah, so this is not football related, but I told you the other night to finish my day off. Right, we were staying at sort of a guest house. big heavy fire doors, as you know, anybody who stayed in hotels know what they're like. If you let them go, they absolutely crash, don't they? You know, you got to be a bit considerate and let them close slowly. No. 3:15 in the morning, bang, bloody doors bang, and all I hear, couple of northern lasses, fucking bastard, da, 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 da. And then they quieted down a bit, but then they were still talking loud. Oh, shut up, will you? So that about finished my day. But
They
apart
just
from that,
wanted a little cuddle off until Nick.
oh God, I needed more than a cuddle.
It was me and Claire.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. Cheers.
No, I was KO'd by them, mate.
Yeah, I know you were. So apart from that, I had a bloody good day out with my son. So I enjoyed that, enjoyed the whole experience, taking the 90 minutes of football out. So away days are great.
Oh, love that.
Yeah. So it was good. So shit season, shit team, shit manager, shit owners, shit chairman, shit CEO.
Shit fish and chips.
Everything.
Everything.
But as you
Everything
summed it up there,
wrong.
a nice football day with your son.
Yeah.
There's the special
what more
bit.
do you want? Yeah, that was a good bit. So
Love that.
and there we are. Roll on Euros. That's all I can say.
Claire, have you got anything positive?
I mean, of course, we've just won the league.
Did you win the league?
So, yeah, Hannah and I treated ourselves, instead of getting each other Christmas presents, we treated ourselves to corporate for the last game of the season, which was a bloody, we decided this before Christmas, by the way. So what a nice time to do it. We had to arrive at like 12. So we got seated and we were sitting near Carlo Nash. I'm sure all of you will remember him as what a keeper back in the day. So he played for us before he joined Man City. We had a nice meal. Dave Challoner comes in for a talk. Libby Barry's parents come in for a drink, and his sister, and they were saying thanks again for all the support that they're getting on the pod. So, Libby Barry. Ben doesn't know this, but everyone on the pod's adopted Libby Barry.
I've been keeping an eye on the last couple of weeks. Don't worry.
So yeah, the match itself, we took the lead in the 9th minute. I feel like everyone was a bit like, we're getting the trophy. Does it really matter? But having said that, it's nice to pick the trophy up after a win, isn't it? So it was the first guard of honour of 2. So we took the lead in the 9th minute through Kyle Button, and then Wally equalised for Accrington in the 17th minute. We had loads of chances, like a lot of possession. I think I've not looked at the possession, but I will now. 61%. But then we took the lead again in the 44th minute. Connor Lemonhay-Evans scored. Start of the second half. Actually, I'm going to mention halftime, because when you're in corporate, you have to go back at halftime for your pudding, right? And just outside corporate, we've got like a courtyard for the fans. And it was rocking, like fans on the table, dancing, chanting, everything. It was great atmosphere. But then, second half, we went 3-1 up in the 62nd minute. And then Nolan, it was like the weakest shot you've ever seen. Like, I don't really know how Ben didn't save it, but, is a legend, so... they pulled one back to make it 3-2, and then Sarcevic put us 4-2 up in the 79th minute. Then after that, really, it's just a bit of a party, in it. We're chanting, we're happy as anything because we're about to get the trophy. humble as he is, Mark Stott, our owner, who is incredible, wouldn't even go on the pitch. So we were sitting in front of him, and he was buzzing. You could tell he was buzzing, but he was there like hugging his kids and his friends that were there with him, and he does not like the limelight. He didn't want it, so he stayed in his area, and his daughter brought the trophy onto the pitch with our club president, and yeah, presented with the trophy. We had a absolutely mad few hours outside the Prince Albert pub, people on the roof dancing, everything. So yeah, it was brilliant. I'd say a night to remember, but I don't really remember that much of it, if I'm being honest. No, actually, I remember all of it when we were in Stockport. It's like we went to Basque, which is like it's where everyone goes. Like, it's the nicest place in Stockport, if I'm honest. But everyone was trying to get there, so we couldn't get in. So we ended up getting a couple of cans and standing outside so we could still soak in the atmosphere. No, I was not on the roof. I wouldn't get down. But yeah, me and my friend went back to Hazel Grove, which is where I live, and went to the pub, and Sam was laughing before. He said, "You rang me at 11:15 and said, I'm back in Hazel Grove now, I won't be long." He went, and then you rocked in at 2:45, absolutely hammered, staggering everywhere, going, "I got you a burger." So yeah, the football was good, but it's pretty irrelevant now, isn't it?
Is it?
What's it like to win a game of football, Claire?
Mate, it's magnificent.
Yeah, I might try it sometime.
We're on to the second really good run of the season in terms of wins, and obviously that's what's done it for us. But I just want to say that Dave Challoner had people doubting him in October. Like, you don't always need to get rid of your manager because things are not going your way. Like, sometimes you've got to stick it out and ride the rough with the smooth. If some of our fans had had their way, like, Charlie would have been gone before our winning run started in September. Like, it's crazy to think that now. So, I'm driving on Saturday. There's none of that going on. I'm getting home after the game because Sam's making me a nice 3-course meal. So yeah, happy days. But yeah, second of the Guard of Honours coming our way on Saturday, which will be fun at Wrexham. And as much as anyone says it, we kind of are new rivals now, and it's a rivalry built out of the fact that we've both got money and we're both competing for the same thing. It's like a healthy rivalry most of the time. But yeah, I've seen a lot on social media, some of their fans saying, "I'm going to turn my back," or "I'm going to stay in the concourse," while the Cardiff run is happening. But last time we won the league, and yeah, I agree, when we won the conference, here it has. Yeah, when we won the conference, our fans had a plane with a banner that said SCFC champions, cheers, thank you. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a little plane flying over the race course on Saturday, even though we're there. I wouldn't be surprised one bit. But we'll see.
Have you sorted it, Claire? Is it all on you, this plane?
Mate, imagine, I mean, I don't have that much spare money.
I reckon you've asked everyone, instead of getting your birthday present, to put into that plane. It's all coming out now.
It's just gonna fly over, going duh 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 duh. Louis Barry.
Louis Barry. I love it.
Do you know what the funniest thing ever? When obviously in the corporate, and Steve, his club president, was saying, Louis Barry's mum and dad have come in for a drink, and then said a bit about how magnificent it's been for us and the partnership that we're getting with Villa. Then turn around I was like, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for the people who produced Louis Barrett or created Louis Barrett. I was laughing my head off. His mum was like that.
I love that.
Funny, so funny.
That's quality. Oh, funny. Anything else anybody wants to add about their teams before we move on?
It's not about our team, but I feel like we really need to big up Doncaster.
I was going to
Because-
say
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I was going to as well.
Yeah, what
That's
an
crazy what they've
absolutely
done.
magnificent run that they've been on. So they got beat 5-1 by us on the 27th of January, and since then they've only lost one match.
Well, they were 9-10 on the trot, is it?
Is it
Yeah,
10?
10 on the bounce
Yeah.
now. Obviously they put themselves not even just into the playoffs, they put themselves up to 5th.
Yeah.
Or is it 6th?
Fifth. Yeah, fifth.
Yeah. So I know like Milton Keynes are guaranteed 4th.
Yeah.
But for them to have come from where they've come from, they were losing as well on Saturday. So they've not. Yeah, it's just absolutely crazy. I think the form that they're in at the moment. They were 2-0 down, and they scored 1 in the 58th. Then you've got 84, 88, and 99th minute.
Yeah.
For them to have come back and done as well as they've done, Grant McCann's done a phenomenal job.
Preach. Completely agree with that one. In the chat as well, I know people are thinking I've forgot about your teams. I've not. I've found a way that you can star comments. So I have got your match report. So do not worry, everyone. So we will mention Aled's. So he has put, if my buttons are working right. My internet's just having a mare today. A class sunny day in Cheshire, taking 3 points home. It's just randomly gone off now. Thanks for that. A brilliant chip by Mullen and a horrendous defensive error by Crew, which led to a brilliant through pass by Lee to Cannon. Anything we want to add on Wrexham? Claire, I'll let you add whatever you want on Wrexham.
No, I mean, there's a lot of people that have issues with Wrexham, and also similarly, a lot of the issues are jealousy. I think purely because I think the level of attention they're getting sometimes it is a bit annoying because, for example, we'd won the league and the headlines were Wrexham beaten to the title and stuff like that, and it's like they were never in first. Mansfield were always more likely to win the league. And the Wrexham fans were saying the same thing, like this is why people have an issue, and it's not on us.
No, it's not their fault, is it? It's the Sky, it's the media bigging them up.
I think I tweeted something about it, and I think I had so many Wrexham fans like replying saying like, yeah, that is the issue. But fair play to him, back-to-back promotions. People say that it's not a big step up from the Conference to League Two. I think it's bigger than people think, especially the top part of League Two. I think, and I've been dead honest, I thought Wrexham's defence could have stopped them. But obviously they found a way around that, which is credit to them. I think, you can't knock them, can you? Two promotions in a row, and they're going to go from strength to strength. They've got the backing, they've got the investment. Even I know Rob and Ryan put money in, and I can't remember who it was. Someone was talking to us on that space last night, saying that whilst Rob and Ryan do put the money in as a loan, the money that comes back from Disney for Welcome to Wrexham covers that anyway.
Apparently, talking about the money, I read the other day with this new Sky deal, and iFollow is no longer involved with the EFL. They reckon the biggest losers are Wrexham because the amount of money they got from abroad from people watching iFollow is absolutely mega.
That's probably true, actually, because they've
Yeah.
got a massive following now globally
Yeah.
because of Welcome to Wrexham. I know there's been Twitter Spaces that I've listened to, that have had people in like Australia, South America, Canada, or like all over.
Yeah.
They've got like an Argentinian Wrexham supporters group. Like, yeah, they've got a massive attention. But do you know what? Fair play to him. I think, a lot of teams that are struggling would love to have what they've got.
Oh yeah, of course you would.
And the fact that a lot of Wrexham's fans have the ones that obviously have been there a long time, had 15 seasons in the conference. And sorry, I know it's not called that, it's a National League, but it'll always be the conference, really, won't it? They've had 15 years in there. So I'm pleased for those people that the club's on the right path again.
Yeah, exactly the same. I agree. Another one who we've got match analysis: Tranmere Rovers 3, AFC Wimbledon 2. So Tranmere Rovers show, he has put, Wimbledon fans were brilliant. Tranmere players were better. Don't like the FA. Rob Apter, we want you to stay. Only won because of our win at Charity Port. Wimbledon fans are nice. Stockport champions. He's put that. And then he's put match report. Wimbledon fans are the nicest in the league. We played brilliantly. Rob Apter, we want you to stay. Wimbledon were pretty bad. We played well thanks to Newport momentum. Lap of honour. Great.
Aww.
And to be fair, he's been waiting a long time.
Every team plays well. Every team plays well now because they play us, and we're just the team that starts everyone's runs now.
Just touching obviously on the other League Two results, is there any ones that we want to comment on? I mean, Harrogate 3, MK Dons 5. That seems like a good game.
Yeah, I mean, Milton Keynes are where they are, aren't they, for a reason?
Yeah.
They've guaranteed themselves finishing fourth now. But yeah, I hope they stay down.
I think
I hope they get a point deduction and kicked out the league personally, but there we are.
The push for the 7th place is going to be really interesting Saturday.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? You've got
please take a point off of Bradford. Just
because it's so
get
funny.
a 0-0. Just do it, for God's sake.
We've been trying to park the bus. It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
I'll put a 10-man attack then and score some bloody goals.
I don't know. I might have to jump on the pitch to be an extra man in the bloody defence.
In your Mario costume.
In my Mario costume, of course. That's the thing, right? Like, we have the opportunity to do something so funny because Bradford are one of the most informed teams in the league, and we are the worst formed team in the EFL.
Yes.
So the fact that we can do something so comical, and it would be such a Newport and Bradford thing to where we take points off of them. So fingers crossed for that reason.
Yes, do it. Do it.
Any other standouts on this slide before we move on? Anybody?
I think you have to say that. I mean, two things really. Firstly, that Forest Green have done well to get a win away because they're already relegated.
Yep.
But also the relegation fight for the last day of the season for Sutton to have took it to that point. They've got a really good point at home against Crawley, who are fighting for playoffs. Obviously, Colchester, they got beat at Notts County. So it comes down to this last match, I think, because I think Colchester lost in the week to Doncaster.
Yeah, they did. 4-1.
I think the fact that Sutton we're in the bottom two for sorry, I've got really itchy eyes all of a sudden.
Don't worry.
Sutton were like in the bottom two for such a long time. I think the week before we played them recently was the first time they'd been out of the relegation zone in like since August, which is absolutely mental. So fair play to them for, taking it as far as they have.
I feel a bit sorry for them as well because they conceded a last-minute equaliser as well on Saturday, which put them in a really good position for it.
It was,
I think,
the game before they conceded like a last-minute equaliser as well.
Yeah, I think they're just the ability, and that's probably why they're where they are at the moment, is that the ability to manage games and everything like that. And but that's the thing. I think if you'd asked their Sutton fans, a good month or two ago, that they go into the last game of the season still within, albeit it's a slight chance, very small chance of staying up, I'm sure they would have taken it. So, and I'll be backing it because we've always had a good relationship with Sutton and Maidstone. So I hope they do.
Yeah.
They do go and do it, but it is going to be a tough ask for them on the last day.
Do we reckon they'll do it?
No.
No.
Who is
I think
Keiron.
I think
Colchester got?
it's not that.
Wait.
It's the swinging goal difference as well, isn't it? So you've got Milton Keynes are playing Sutton, but Milton Keynes are guaranteed fourth. So are they going to rest it a bit for the playoff match? I mean, they shouldn't, but you never know. And Colchester are playing Crewe, who could potentially give themselves a more favourable fixture in the playoffs if they finish 5th instead of 6th.
Yeah.
So it's and the goal difference. Let me just have a look at it.
It's 3.
It's a difference of 4.
It's a 3-goal difference.
Yeah.
4.
So I think
Colchester
someone
minus
said
21, Sutton minus 25.
Someone say if the swing, there's a certain way the swing ends. And if it ends that certain way, I think it was a Wrexham fan, and I can't remember his name, so I can't even look it up. But their goal difference would be the exact same. And then it was like head-to-head was the exact same. Goal scored is the exact same. I can't remember. Anyway, then apparently the thing is it goes down to most
Number
home wins.
Yeah. And Colchester got 2 more wins.
Crazy.
Right. So I will read out the table and then we'll quickly fly through League One and the Championship, because for a change, we've actually spent a lot on National League, so I'm buzzing with that. So yeah, top of the table and Championes, we have got Stockport on 92 points. Mansfield are in second on 85 points. They have also been promoted. Another team who've also been promoted as well are Wrexham in third, and they have 85 points. The playoffs are MK Dons in fourth on 77 points, Doncaster in fifth on 70 points, Crewe are sixth on 70 points, Barrow are seventh on 68 points. And then in the relegation zone, we have Sutton United. They are 23rd on 41 points. Forest Green, unfortunately, did finish bottom of the league, and they have been relegated to the National League. They had 39 points, and then obviously just above Sutton in 22nd, we have Colchester United on 44 points. League One, we will try and fly through these. Any standout results for you on here, Ben?
For me, Blackpool's win against Barnsley, sort of keep them right in the playoff hunt. That's the thing. I think you lose that game, and their hopes are dashed a little bit. So that gives them something to really play for now in the last day of the season. So credit to them, because I think they conceded a late goal now to make it 3-2. But I mean, they managed to see it through. So that's a big result in terms of them staying within the hunt for that last playoff spot.
Definitely,
they better not get it.
Mine as well. Why?
Because I want Blackpool away. It's tacky as anything, Blackpool. I said that to Sam before when we were there. I was like, it's the tackiest place ever, but it's our tacky.
Yeah, love it. Richard O'Donnell's at Blackpool too, so you've got to love Blackpool. He's a legend. Go on, Claire.
No, I was just going to say they have done really well, so fair play to them. They
have done well. Uncle Nick, standout result for you?
Lincoln City getting another win, which could see them just about sneak in. They won at Oxford the other week, which is surprising actually, because I think Oxford beat Peterborough 5-0.
Yes.
But that was after they won the Paint Pot Trophy, whatever it's called. So I guess they'd been a bit of a celebration. They weren't on it. So those victories for Lincoln, I think if Lincoln win, they go into playoffs and put poor old Oxford out. Well, that'd be a terrible shame.
Comment. I'm sorry, that killed me off.
I know, yeah, it's literally like this.
Ever since I read the league table and it was just miserable. I'm taking the Mario outfit off because I'm just fuming.
So yeah, that's the main result for me.
Everyone do your best, Keiron.
Some of us have got reasons to be miserable, so yeah, that's about it for me.
Keiron, I'm going to you now. What is your standout result?
We've got to deal with bloody Port Vale again. Oh, God alive. Yeah, I suppose Fleetwood's win at Leighton, not that it guarantees their safety by any means, but it gives them a fighting chance, and given where they were a few weeks ago. Is it Fleetwood?
Fleetwood. Fleetwood are down now. Fleetwood are down now.
Oh, I don't know. I don't fucking know. I don't know. I don't care. Okay. Whatever. Oh, God, Fleetwood as well. Oh, no. Oh, you know what, right?
Keiron's lost the will.
There is a team somewhere that have kept themselves in it until the final day. Not
Cheltenham. Cheltenham.
That's the one. That's the one. I want them to come down as well because it's a close away day. It's a close away day. Let me have one thing.
To be fair, yeah, I think I only want them to stay up because of the manager.
Well, we've lost the vegans, so I want Cheltenham. Kind of close distance.
Fair,
because we've got bloody Fleetwood and Port Vale now. Nobody wants them.
The vegans.
Nobody wants Port Vale.
Nobody wants Port Vale, and that's the one that, you know what, yeah, Bolton winning against Port Vale would mean I have to watch Port Vale.
Port Vale would have been all right staying up because it's only up the road.
Yeah.
Horrible place, horrible team.
Yeah, it is.
Horrible place, hate everything about it, and I have to deal with it again next season.
I'm so sorry.
We went talking about Port Vale. I went there a few seasons ago, and we're driving the car near the ground, and stupidly, I had a flag in the back of the car, STFC on. And usually, when we get close, you take the flag down. So but we didn't for some reason. Pull up at some traffic lights, and sitting there, and three blokes come out of a pub walking across the road. And I'm watching, I think, oh, shit. And they come around the side of the car. He taps on the window. I think, oh, no, here we go. He says, hey, mate, you got a load of shit in the back of your car. Here we go.
That's quite funny.
He's going to put the boot into the car or something. I said, how far is the ground? Oh, no, go out there, next turn in, turn left, and it'll take you straight to it. So, thank Christ for that. Get that bloody flag out the car.
Funny, that's funny. That is funny.
Yeah. But
Was that a little smile, Keiron?
Not a smile out of happiness, a smile out of the fact that Port Vale is a ground I have to go to next season. This just, here's the thing, right? We have spent 11 seasons in this bloody division, and Mansfield was a team that also spent, the equal amount of time. Us and Mansfield have been in the same division for 13 seasons. That goes from the conference up to here. Now they've went up, so we've lost our good friends of Mansfield, and we're having to play bloody Port Vale.
Fucking didn't. What, Mansfield's a shithole and all.
Yeah, I know Mansfield's a shithole, but it's our shithole. I have to deal with Warsaw.
years and years ago, before Keithville actually got us promoted, it was actually known as the Rochdale Division, which is obviously League Two now, because we'd never been relegated. We were never promoted. We were just chilling.
It's about to turn to the bastard Newport Division. We're 2 seasons off of equaling the record of your staying there.
You can always join us if you want Keiron in National League.
Part of me wants to, because it would still be different.
Oh man, Claire, what's your standout result? Port Vale.
You just need to fucking sort your head out, Keiron.
I've had head loss since Barrow 2 months ago.
Crack a beer out and cheer up, or a
I might need more than bastard beer. It don't work anymore, Claire. I might need more than bastard beer.
A great win for Wigan away at Portsmouth. I know Portsmouth had won the league already, so there wasn't that much riding on it, but similarly to us, they were getting presented with the trophy. I guess it didn't matter what happened, but it's still a great win for Wigan.
I think they got quite a good away record this season, Wigan. I'm sure it's their away record, but it's quite good.
No idea.
Unless I dreamt it, probably.
But Derby as well. Derby are now on the cusp, really, aren't they? They just on goal difference. I think they just need another point to ensure it. So fair play to Derby. The only disappointing thing for me is because I've followed my team through so many divisions, I barely have a new ground anymore. There's only 3 new grounds for me on that pile there.
Oh no.
4 with Rotherham.
Oh no, you poor thing.
What grounds, Claire?
For me, the new ones. Oh, yeah. Actually, make it 5. So Stevenage, Exeter, Reading.
Exeter's good ground.
Yeah, I've never been. Reading, and then you've got obviously Rotherham coming down, and no, that's it.
Reading's a nice stadium, but it's a newish one, so it's a bit.
Yeah.
Exeter's probably the best one of them.
I've been to loads of them, but I thought, do you know what? I've got friends who moved just before the pandemic down to Cornwall, so I can kind of get them to come to Exeter, and we'll get an Airbnb somewhere for the weekend.
So it's a bloody long way to go for you.
Yeah, it is. Oh, Cambridge as well. That was the other one. Cambridge.
All right.
So yeah, just I've got a new ground on Saturday. Actually, I don't know if I mentioned that. I've never been to Wrexham before.
You going to Wrexham?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
I don't know how I feel about it though, because I don't know if I told you our tickets, they went on sale to 50 season ticket holders with 15 away games and then to 10 away games, and I went and queued up for them and got tickets. They were sold out in something like 15 minutes from going on sale. That includes the in-person ones because they split them. And I've never been. The reason that I didn't go last time we played them was because I was heavily pregnant and I'd nearly got knocked out by my own husband and friend at Chesterfield when we won. So I gave my ticket away and I'd never been. So I was like, I really want to go. And now I've got a promise of a fish cake from Aled. And no, I'm not looking forward to being final day.
Yeah, I'm probably looking forward to it. I can't wait until this season's bloody over for another season of it.
I'm nicknaming you Happy now, you fucking miserable bastard.
I've been fucking miserable bastard for the past 7 games. It's going to be 8 Saturday.
They're fucking miserable and they're fucking chin it in the ground miserable.
My chin is 6 foot under. It's that upset and pissed off.
At least it's smiling now.
It's not a smile of happiness, unfortunately.
Keiron, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.
You ain't getting nothing.
Give us a clap.
No, that would just be lying, and I've been told lying is not right.
You fucking silly sausage.
Yeah,
Set your fucking head down. Set your fucking head down, or I'll poke your fucking eyes out.
I'm better for watching fucking Newport play Walsall every bastard season, man.
Well, stay at home then.
Bloody wolves don't do my head in.
Stay at home and do yourself a favour.
That might be a better idea, actually. I might. Thank you. Fuck's sake.
You're welcome.
Bloody hell,
Morning
man.
translated for us Southerners.
Retiring from football, I am. I was never in it. Retiring now.
What a result that was on Tuesday night for Cheltenham.
Woo! They're the team that like stay up. Yeah.
You
that's
see,
the
there was a
one.
lot of
Fucking
noise
hell,
about
Keiron.
that because I think Peterborough put virtually the reserve side out or something. I read they were,
I think they made 5 changes, didn't
or a
they?
lot of youth players in there. So there's a few teams that are a bit unhappy about it.
There
At
you
least
go.
they go to new grounds.
Oh, I read that as the weird rapper.
Oh.
This is me. I'm done after this one.
Yeah.
Look at that cheeky smile on Ben's face.
He loves it in
Oh, no,
reality.
you're right. Okay.
He loves it.
So we have the League One table. So top of the league, we have Portsmouth on 94 points, and they have obviously been promoted. Derby are second on 89 points. In third, we have Bolton on 86 points. Everyone can now laugh at me for saying Bolton because that's how I pronounce it. Same old every week. Peterborough are fourth on 83 points. Barnsley are fifth on 75 points. You can take the mick out of me saying Barnsley too.
Barnsley.
Ha ha ha.
Barnsley. It is Barnsley.
It's the way I say it.
I say it the same. Barnsley.
I go le. Barnsley.
Yeah, it's Barnsley.
Yeah. 60 on
Barnsley?
Lincoln and 74 points. And then in the relegation, see, I told you they'd come for me. And then in the relegation zone, we have Cheltenham 21st on 44 points. Relegated teams, though, in 22nd, we have Fleetwood on 40 points. Port Vale are in 23rd, also relegated on 40 points. And Carlisle, as we've mentioned previously, are relegated back to League Two on 30 points. There you go, Keiron. You get to see Carlisle again.
Right, nobody wants to see Carlisle at all. No, mine again.
Fucking hell. So
I knew it'd get you on. I knew you'd have a rant.
I'm not going to get a... Nope, you're not getting a rant out of me about Carlisle. No.
You just did. You just did.
No, that's not a rant. I didn't become Welshman.
Just before we move on to the championship, I tell you what, it's doing me head in this laptop today. Shivers put Oxford should have won versus Stevenage by the way last week, and Des Buckingham is one manager to keep an eye on.
It's definitely one to keep an eye on.
Behave.
Like Rob Edwards. I didn't say that. I did not say that. It was someone behind me that said that. You're being known as a happy clapper now, Keiron.
Oh yeah, you know that's really funny. It's mental, right? I used to get called happy clapper when we were winning, when we were losing, and now I'm just, you know what, go with the flow, and it's just misery now. So there we are.
Mr. Lucas put, love it how Ben is just still smiling when Keiron is having a meltdown.
Listen, all right, these podcasts are newly my therapy sessions. I was able to deal with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 losses on the bounce, but 7's taking a bit of a piss. Like, it's,
I tell you what, Keiron, to cheer you up, I'll let you go first. What's your highlight result this
He
week in
doesn't
the
care.
championship?
I don't
saying
care. I really don't care at all.
Rotherham, Birmingham 0-0.
Yeah.
Keiron, why have you come on tonight?
I thought it was, you know what, right? I was like, this will be fine. It'll all be loads of fun. And then the more I look at Newport, the more I just get upset and annoyed. So, what could have been, if you will. But there we are.
If you're a very happy clapper, shout Keiron. Keiron. If you're a very happy clapper, shout Keiron. Keiron.
You wouldn't believe I've been called a happy clapper this season, would you? You wouldn't believe
No, because
that.
you're fucking right, miserable bastard.
Well, you're not wrong, but at least I'm not one of my own manager out who's done an all right job, to be fair to him. But there we are. Anyway, so I don't give a toss about the championship.
Shark got
So,
into hiding.
yeah, like the championship can give less of a toss. Leicester, why not? They won. Well done,
Shark, come back.
What's it like to win games of football, Leicester?
I
Tell me.
think I've seen Shah off calling you a miserable bastard.
Well, it's not wrong, to be fair.
Look at these results here. Where's the standouts?
Oh, yeah,
Leeds.
Leicester. Woo.
Leeds. No, that Leeds match was a pretty good match. Don't know if you watched it on Monday night.
Cracking game, wasn't it? That was
Great game. Great game.
I love the way Leeds play, whether you like them or not. It's all just go for it. Yeah, good game.
I'm sorry. You've got that funny. I've actually got tears. I snort laughed as well. That's why I went off. I thought snorted. I did a Peppa Pig.
I'm glad my pain is amusing
Wait there.
you all.
Wait there.
Huh?
Claire's husband, Sam, as well. I saw hippos in the zoo this afternoon. Happier than Keiron.
It's lying. There
Well,
wasn't
I'm
any
sure.
hippos.
I'm sure their football team probably won. But he's got a bastard point. God.
I'm done.
But Keiron, is this season going to be your worst position ever?
No, but it feels like it. We're up. Well, the thing is, we've not had a chance to get any higher than bastard League 2, so there we are. It can't be the worst.
What's that noise?
What is that noise?
What
What's Claire
noise?
doing now?
I'm not doing anything. What is it? I can't hear anything. Oh! I can't hear anything.
I'm regretting my life choices right now coming on here.
Dave!
You
I
what?
might end this stream.
What happened?
Oh God!
Oh, man.
Oh.
Claire, behave.
I don't actually know what's happening.
How have we won an award, man? How? I know this is so off script. Is it Josh after a career? Yeah, it is. Yeah. Where's the pig? It's me, but it's not me actually now. I did snort laugh, but that is not me now.
I hope everyone's enjoying the last episode of the
There he is.
We got
Pig.
cancelled.
Hello. Hello.
I feel like I'm stuck in some weird nightmare. And I can't get out of it. Oh my God, I'm actually crying. I don't know if I'm happy crying or I'm scared. Oh, bloody hell. Oh, man. I'm actually done. I don't think I can host ever again.
Hello.
Oh, I'm done.
Were you on
Imagine
that?
Just
You
put
might
the
do.
league,
Hello
just put
week,
the league
then.
table up.
Imagine if anyone's listening to this on audio, like driving to work, and they want some football conversation, and all it is
I'm not even sorry.
at least people are finding it funny. Yeah, I'm sorry. We are all mad. We are all mad. I think the pigs are out of the troubles. I'm dying. Oh my. Oh man, as if, right, it's probably one of the most interesting leagues in the world right now. And we've just had a pig snorting all the way through it.
So I did call out Leeds though.
Was it you or was it the pig?
Agree with
For
Leicester.
Cardiff. And
Well,
Cardiff as well.
I was going to say, yeah, Cardiff beat Southampton.
Can't take myself seriously now.
It's a last minute win for Cardiff, wouldn't it?
A very good win for them. I can't take
Yeah,
myself
go on,
seriously.
go on, Cardiff.
Ben's rethinking his life choices of
I
joining
think
the
I am as well. National League's over for Dale now. You won't see me again on this show.
Oh,
man.
God. I hope we stay in the
I'm
national
actually-
side. We don't have to do this again.
I know.
No, we're doing that next season.
No, we're not. Trust me, we're not. Nothing like that. We've got to go by it.
But yeah, massive win for Cardiff against Southampton. What are we thinking about Southampton? I honestly thought when they were on that bit of a run and they had that game in hand, I thought it's Southampton's here, but they've just totally lost it again, haven't they?
Yeah, no chance.
Yeah, so I think the fact of the matter is that Southampton had the game in hand and they could have really done their confidence the world of good if they'd won that game in hand and the running that they had. I think they could have ended things on a high. But as it stands at the minute, I don't really rate their chances of getting promoted in the playoffs.
Let's have a quick look. Obviously,
I think
especially after that.
Yeah, they had some really, really bad individual mistakes on Tuesday night. I was trying to get back on topic then, really hard. I think they had...
Right, hang on. Did you watch that Leicester Southampton game?
Yeah, I was just going to say about that. It was a great
the,
match for Leicester. The
last goal was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, it was.
If you haven't seen it, look up their fifth goal because it was just
I think
how you want to see your team play.
Yeah,
superb.
The young lad
really
getting the hat
good.
trick, can't remember his name, but he's super bright, talented. I think on the flip side of it, though, you have Taylor Harwood-Bellis, who is also a youngster, is the under-21 England captain, and he's got a big future. But sorry, that's my phone ringing. I think he's got a bit of learning to do, maybe. But then again, you know what? Everyone makes mistakes now and again, and maybe that was just his mistake. And if it's at a time when you see him getting hammered, then leave it in that game. I don't know. I just have got a feeling that they're not going to get him promoted.
Correct.
Any other standouts? I think that Stoke win, isn't it, against Plymouth? That's a very, very, very good win at the bottom of the league.
Yeah,
massive win for Stoke.
I think Stoke pulled themselves away from it a little bit recently, but a good win for Millwall as well.
Also a big win for Sheffield Wednesday as well. Blackburn probably matched by one of the most comical own goals I think I've seen this season.
Yes, I saw that one.
Yeah,
saw that one.
Had to feel for him. We've all been there as I play as a goalkeeper. That certainly happened to me before, so I have got sympathy. But that's when you know your date. You know everything's going as planned when that happens. But yeah, that's a massive result in terms of them because it sort of drags Blackburn a little bit more back into it again.
Yeah.
The worst result on there is Birmingham.
Yeah.
Only drawing. That could be the result that's killed them.
They're in the bottom three. Yeah. I think. I was looking at the fixtures in the Championship on Saturday as well. Huddersfield play Birmingham. Wednesday are playing West Brom. So Birmingham, Huddersfield is a draw. They're both relegated, aren't they? Because Sheffield Wednesday have got a better goal difference. Is that right? Let me have a look.
Sheffield Wednesday,
Sheffield Wednesday's goal. Oh no, Sheffield Wednesday's goal difference is appalling. Yeah, Birmingham's is -16. Sheffield Wednesday is -29, and Huddersfield's -27.
2 games to play, though, isn't it?
Oh yeah, they've got 2, haven't they?
Yeah, it's 2 games to play. So
I just forget they finish a week after.
Yeah.
I'd quite like the bottom 2 to stay that way, because there's another. I've never been to Birmingham away, so that'd be another new ground. So that'd be all right.
We've been asked a question as well. Shivers asked us all, who does everyone think could be in trouble of getting relegated? So obviously Rotherham's gone. It would the other 2, would you say, who are getting relegated?
I think a lot depends, and I know it's like a a really like shit answer, but for me it's a bit open-ended, and I think maybe getting us next week would be better. You've got, looking at next week's fixtures as well, though. Birmingham play Norwich, who were obviously in the playoffs, and Huddersfield are away at Ipswich.
Yep.
And Sheffield Wednesday are away at Sunderland, who don't have anything to play for.
Oh, well, that's 3 points for Wednesday, isn't it?
I think Sheffield Wednesday might stay up.
Yeah. I think
the bottom 3 stays the same for me. I don't think it changes now.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I do. I think the bottom 3.
Yeah.
We don't want to say who's going to stay up out loud because we know what that does to them, don't we? Puts the jinx on them.
No, just for the ground, Simon. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if it stayed as it was. I thought Plymouth had brought themselves well out of it because they'd had a couple of good wins recently, but they could be still in trouble.
Yeah.
I'd probably put Plymouth in more trouble than Sheffield Wednesday at the minute, despite the fact that obviously there's a point difference between them.
Who are they playing? Let's have a look. On the final day, on the 4th of May, Plymouth will play Hull at home, and this weekend they will play Millwall away.
They could easily lose both of those.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd honestly probably say Huddersfield and Plymouth, but now that I said that, they'll both win their final 2 now. So there we are.
Right, so that's the championship, and the table is Leicester are top at the minute with 94 points. Leeds are second on 90 points. Ipswich have that 3rd spot with 89 points. Southampton are 4th on 84 points. West Brom are 5th on 72 points. Norwich are 6th on 72 points also. And then in that relegation zone at the minute, we have Birmingham in 22nd on 46 points. We have Huddersfield, who are 23rd on 44 points. And then, as we all know, Rotherham have been relegated back to League One. They have 24 points. As well in the chat, Shivers put, I fancy Jay Stansfield to help Birmingham to just about escape. I'd say Huddersfield and Plymouth to go down.
Jay Stansfield is very talented. Is very talented, isn't he?
Oh man, I just don't know what to do with myself after that. Oh man,
I'm getting kicked off this podcast soon, mate.
Obviously, we will quickly, very, very, very quickly, Bill Simon, if you do want to have your say, we will touch on, obviously, the FA Cup. Is a Coventry fan. What did we all think about Manchester United and Coventry? We'll just speak about that game.
I thought it was offside. And from the line, you see that. But it was, like, literally offside by his shoe. Like, should offside be measured by a shoe? Like, if they are in line with each other,
Should
surely
be daylight.
But yeah,
And it
exactly.
should just look, to me, it
But-
should just be where your feet are positioned. Simple as that.
Personally,
It's football. It's called
I
football.
think VAR should be scrapped because it's a
Yeah.
pile of shite.
Yeah.
And instead of having VAR, you know what? Footballers make mistakes. You have
Just accept it, get on with it.
you have strikers miss sitters. You have
Yeah.
defenders missing headers, making howlers, keepers dropping a ball. A referee is a human too. Like, people used to moan about refs making mistakes, but I would much rather, for the continuity as well of the game, like, it takes so long to get a VAR decision sometimes that the celebration's gone anyway. Like, it's
Yeah, it
just
kills the
ruining
game.
football, in my opinion.
I suddenly felt a lot better about the fact that we lost to Coventry now. After seeing the effort they put in, obviously I backed them all the way because I really wanted them to do it. And when they go 3-0 down, everyone assumes the worst. But then as soon as Ellis Sims gets on back, you do think there's still plenty of time to do it. And I think I've had my say on VAR so many times, and in that particular moment, it just killed it because that was going to be one of the greatest semi-final moments of all time, and half a shoe has stopped that. And that's the thing. It's like, obviously, in the rules of it, it is offside, but it's like, is it a clear and obvious error though, which I thought was VAR was meant to be used for?
Yeah, they've never implemented.
No, I don't
exactly.
understand.
The only other argument you could say is that if it wasn't for VAR, Cov wouldn't have got a penalty because the ref didn't give it. So,
I think he did give it actually originally.
No,
because I think they went back at it, but he did. I thought he did originally give the decision.
No, I didn't think he did, to be honest. I might be wrong, but from my recollection, they went back and checked it. I didn't think he gave it, but I could be wrong on that. But that was what I'm pretty sure that was the case. But yeah, VAR just kills the game. It's crap.
Yeah, the thing that I had I'll say in the nicest way, a debate with a few like United fans and everything about the situation. The main thing that I mentioned, other than the fact you've ruled out a goal for what literally is a foot, and like that to me is ridiculous in itself. But the thing that I argued with them about was that they of course had the extra time. It entirely killed Coventry's momentum. Like, I understand they only had 2-3 minutes until full time, and you talk potentially United make changes and set up to go to pens. But you can imagine the players have worked that hard to come down from 3 goals down. They've scored a goal that has been given offside even after you've celebrated, and it looked like it was originally given before the check. And all of a sudden, you'd imagine those players are deflated because they put so much effort into it, and to be let off and to be entirely denied that moment is, you'd imagine, even for extra time, even if you talk off the miracle of like it was given and then United scored, you'd potentially say it's more of a reason then for Coventry to want to go for it again. But God, it must have been so mentally draining, and like the heartbreak they would have went through to have that goal ruled out over something so minuscule. And again, VAR was introduced to stop clear errors, and that's not a clear error. It's ridiculous to me. And again, they argued that because there was only 2 minutes until full time and extra time, it didn't really matter. But you got to think, what are those players now feeling after they've had a goal ruled out that looks, or at least if there wasn't VAR, it would have been given as onside. It's ridiculous, and I don't know whether an entire scrapping of it is overly necessary. I think it can be good in moments of calls that are a bit more obvious and a bit more justified, and they reduced red cards and stuff. But the fact it takes so long as well is just awful.
Yeah, I agree.
If they'd put it in or running it as they said they would, like you said, someone said, clear and obvious. If it takes you 5 minutes to come up with a decision, that's not a clear and obvious mistake.
Exactly.
Is it not
It's
clear
simple
and
as
obvious
that.
just for fouls, though? It doesn't count for offsides, does it?
Well, that's how they were selling it initially, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's how
just
they were
clear and
selling it. Was
obvious.
it would
They didn't go
correct
into
the
any
decisions
detail.
that were the correct decisions that were made off of instinct, and it would make sure they're 100% right. And yeah, by the rules of the game, he's offside, but
I didn't
like
think he was offside because
no, I didn't think
I mean,
I thought he was on the line with
does
him.
it? Yeah, but they're talking about this semi-automatic offside. I don't quite know exactly how that will work. Whether that will stop all this.
I'd highly
So,
doubt.
usually-
They always publicize these things, don't they? And they always put them across as being the thing that'll make sure it's fair and efficient and everything, and it never ends out working. So,
Yeah, the trouble is, like Claire said, every player on that pitch makes mistakes because they're not perfect, and they're trying to make refereeing and decisions perfect, and it's impossible. You're never going to do that. It's as simple as that. Goal line technology, brilliant. That type of thing, yeah, that's definitely, you would keep that, but you would never ever get refereeing decisions over a whole game to be 100% perfect, because it can be the angle, the position of the referee to a player. You see, it could be anything, a foul, a handball, whatever it is. You see it from a different angle, and it looks a completely different situation. So it will never be perfect because he's judging it at that moment in time and has to make a split decision. And that's the way the game should be played. You look at the difference, watch a championship game like that Leeds game the other night. I mean, that was just, the ref was letting hard tackles go. And I'm sure VAR would have pulled a lot of those up. And it was just all action football, whereas the Prem, it's stop start, and it's bloody boring, most of it.
Mhm.
They've killed the game.
It's
Absolutely
overused, isn't it? It's like you mentioned, goal line technology is fantastic. I think
Yeah.
that's one of the best things they kind of implemented. But
Yeah.
the fact that they're doing these 5-minute checks for offside, which when you look at it from 90% of people from the naked eye, you'd say they're both playing next to each other. Like, I think it's used too much. It's really unnecessary for a lot of it, and yeah, it's something that definitely needs to be looked at, and they need to reconsider what they originally said and implement it that way, because it kills the game. And yeah, it's why I've kind of lost a lot of interest in a Premier League and all that stuff. But I think the only decent use I've ever kind of seen of VAR, weirdly, was the Merseyside derby yesterday. I thought VAR was used really well there, but because it wasn't used, every given opportunity, which seemed to almost be like what it was in that Coventry game.
Yeah. The other thing, other suggestions that have been bandied about is that either the captain or the manager, they do it like it's done in tennis. You get 2 or 3 times to call for a VAR, and then once you do, if you get it right, maybe you keep the call, you still keep the 2 calls.
Yeah.
And if it's wrong, you lose it. Whether that would work in practically, but just seems a much better way to do it, and it stops it being throughout the whole bloody game.
That's the way I've always seen it as well, Nick. I felt exactly the same. I think it should be 3 challenges, because I think that's in that instance. I think a couple of the United players, I think, wanted it offside, but then again, they were probably clutching at straws, thinking we've absolutely, we've lost the game. We're trying to find anything we can to get it overturned. I mean, most of them are probably thinking they've lost it. So I think that's the thing. A lot of the decisions you see, they don't even appeal them. So it's I think they know it's clear, then give them the chance. But I just think I think VAR could use it so much better, and it would let the game flow a lot better as well.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Keiron said it is
100%.
used too much, mate. And it does ruin the game, and it takes all the emotion out of it as well. Because when I watch the top flight games now, I feel like I can't celebrate a goal anymore, because I feel like, is it going to get overturned? That's why give me National League South football any day of the week over Premier League, just because it's realistic, it's real. Human error. I would much rather human error than VAR, technology taking over the game.
Yeah.
We have got a question as well from Shiv. He said, just to hear what everyone thinks on VAR, do you think it's the technology that is failing, or is it more to do with the officials who are put in place to use it?
The latter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, so they're taking every opportunity to use it, aren't they? They're intentionally slowing the game down so they can manage it at their own pace, and they kills all the emotion and everything.
Yeah, with goals, they're looking to see, is there any reason we can disallow this goal? And to me, that sounds fundamentally wrong. You look at, was it Wolves had a goal disallowed? I don't know what it is yesterday, and
they've had a lot of bad decisions against them Wolves.
But it was nothing to do with the cross in the header going in. It was a coming together of two players in the build-up to it. That was just criminal, to be honest. That was probably the worst decision I've seen. And there was no need to even look at that. That's what they seem to do. But hey-oh,
we don't like that.
Well, you ask the majority of fans if they put a vote out to football fans, we're pretty sure what the result would be. But it's the same old thing. Fans don't get consulted, do they?
I love a bit of shit housing, I can't lie. I do. I can't. I love it when, maybe not towards players though. I love it, when one of your players celebrates into your fans or whatever. But having said that, how good were Coventry's fans even at the end?
Yeah,
absolutely phenomenal.
It was unbelievable. All the United fans had already left, and that Coventry end was full. You'd imagine they'd have won it by looking at that.
Yeah,
you think as well that they when they conceded what was going to be the fourth goal for Coventry, all the United fans were leaving.
My internet started lagging again, so I think it's time for us to go.
Goodbye.
My internet is completely just freaked tonight. I tell you, I'm getting fuming with it. So I think it is time to call it because it's starting to get on my nerves. It's done it again.
I've just noticed she's put happy birthday, Clare, on a thing.
Ben, I hope you weren't wanted to speak on VAR any longer. Shazington said no.
What do we do?
I don't know if she's the only one that can end the live stream. Aren't they?
Oh, I tell you what, it's doing my head in.
Good old Rochdale 56k dial-up.
Oh, she's gone.
She's gone.
Oh, she's gone. What do we do?
We can't end the live stream. This show's won an award.
Anything can happen live.
Oh, this show's won an award. Unreal.
Oh, she'd be panicking now. Should we all sing?
Yeah, sing a song of
We
some form.
are the champions.
None of us can do that.
I'm gonna go. I've had enough. I've got to go anyway. I've got to.
No, you can't.
Right.
We haven't ended the stream.
Charles just inboxed me saying a Wi-Fi has died. Hold on. Charles just messaged saying a Wi-Fi has died, like actually dead. What do we do then?
No, because the thing is, even if we all leave, like it'll stay live just with a blank screen.
Yeah, just a blank screen. That might be more entertaining.
It might be, to be fair. It'd at least be more organised, right?
Right. Okay. Let's read. As we're doing it, where can people find you, Ben, on socials?
If they want to find me, it's at Ben Stones FC1 on Twitter. I'll be tweeting probably loads of crap in the next couple of days about our upcoming playoff games. So
You've got to do it. You've got to do it.
Yeah, no, yeah.
What about you, Uncle Nick?
Rodocus on Twitter. That's about it. How
And
about that?
Keiron?
Oh, what a nightmare this is. If you want to hear me complain about Newport more and probably have a few mental breakdowns between now and Saturday, wait, if I point this that way, Keiron UTC on just about all social medias there. Claire, where can
That's
everyone
cool.
find you?
You can find me, Claire_Jeffs on Twitter and Hatters_Hangout on Tuesday nights. We've got our final one on Tuesday. Shah is at ShahXRAFC and Rochdale HGT as well. So if we tell you where you can find the pod, come on, Sam.
Sam.
You can find us on Twitter at Absolute Ball Pod. YouTube and Twitch is Absolute Football Podcast. TikTok, Absolute Football Pod. Instagram and whatever that other thing is Absolute Football Podcast _ and Facebook is the Absolute Football Podcast. You can find us on a Monday. We do the Premier League and European leagues. Wednesdays are WSL and Ladies Championship. And Thursdays, absolutely
It's a professional one on Thursday.
Yeah, this is
the award-winning absolutely lower league and National League. But thank you everyone for joining us, and we will see you next week.
Actually, if Sam leaves that graphic up, then we can